Hi, thank you for coming back to Real Life Kids. Um, this is our second block, and in our second block, we're going to be talking about the Sunday school lesson that the kids were taught. In this Sunday school lesson, they were taught on how not to sin or how to live without a sin. And the title of the lesson is Don't Allow Sin to Continue into Your Life. Right? So, now how do you go about doing that? How do you not allow sin to continue into your life? Well, there's three goals. There's three things that you have to learn. You have to learn that sin is attractive. Sin can be very appealing. The second thing is sin spreads into your life if you allow it. And we can go deeper into that, but I'm not going to get as deep because it's a blog and I want to review what the kids learn and to teach the parents that the kids are learning how not to allow sin spread into their life. And third, we have to not allow sin to take control of our life. Now, how do we learn these things? How do we learn not to let sin be attractive to us? How not to allow sin to come into our life? And how not to allow sin take control of our life? How do we do that? How do we learn that? Well, the Bible lesson that the kids learned was Genesis 3. And Genesis 3 basically speaks of the fall of man. How the serpent comes to Eve and he tempts her, and he makes the apple of the forbidden tree so appealing to her, so tasty, so wonderful to her. And she goes and she eats of the apple, and then in turn she shares the apple with Adam. And then sin from there on takes control not only of their life, but generation of lives to come. So the kids learned that on Sunday, and a lot of the kids were really amazed that the devil likes to tempt them. He likes to make things look good for them. And we have to, as parents and as adults, learn that sin is very attractive. Sometimes sin could be our iPhone, or sin could be the TV show that we're watching, or sometimes it could just be something that you like to do on a regular basis because it's very attractive to you, or it could be just the new best thing, maybe it'd be your Dre Beats or the new Air Jordans. Sin can be anything. Sin can be the most attractive thing to you that it pulls you away from God. It gives the devil to take a foothold, and in that moment, you lose yourself. You lose your Christianity. You lose your foundation in Christ. So the kids learned that, and it was quite of an experience because they didn't know that sin could be attractive. So now that they do know that sin is attractive, they can better prepare themselves in life. The second thing is that the kids learned how sin can take control of something, or how sin can go into their life. Now, because something is attractive, like in the story, the serpent talks to Eve and he makes the fruit so attractive to her that she has to take a sample of it. It takes a foothold into her life. And ultimately it curses her. But the devil wants to do that to the children. The devil wants to do that to us. He wants to at least get into the very essence of our life. Get into the peekaboo moment of our life. It could be a small little crack. If you allow the devil to get into that crack, you're in big trouble. You're in big trouble. So the kids learned that as well. And some of the kids was like, but I don't want the devil to be in my life. But they have to realize that they have to sacrifice themselves to God daily. Now, how do you teach a kid that? Well, you teach them the basic fundamentals of Christianity. You teach them to pray, read the Bible, and you teach them to love their fellow neighbor. And you not only teach them that, but you teach them to speak to other people about Christ. Because living that Christian walk has to be a public moment. Has to be a public moment. Because once it becomes that public moment, people tend to respect you. They tend to respect what you're believing in. And then the third thing is that, Sin does take control of your life. And the kids couldn't believe that as well. Well, they told me, Mr. Angel, how can sin take control of my life when I'm in control of my life? This is an age group from 5 to 11, but you'd be surprised. How can sin take over my life when I'm in control of my life? Well, are we truly in control of the things that we do? Pause. Think about that. Are you truly in control of the things that you do? Or are you controlled by the influences that you take in? I can't answer these questions for you, but these are two things that you should really think about. Am I truly in control of the things that I do? Or am I influenced? And are those influences controlling you now? The only way you can separate yourself from that is that you have to allow Jesus to truly sit in your heart, your body, your mind, your soul, and weed out these things. Again, it's progressive sanctification. Not all Christians are perfect. Not all Christians live a perfect life. But due to the fact that we can sit and bow before the King of Kings and beg him and pray to him and call out to him, God, please reveal the problems in my life. God, please weed the problems out of our life, that sin won't be there anymore. We have to teach the kids that. The kids really need to know that their source of strength is Jesus Christ. Remember, in the last lesson, they learned that who's their source of strength. This lesson, they really get to understand that they truly need their source of strength to be with them all the time. And the project I did with them in the class to teach them about this thing was, I grabbed water. And I grabbed some water. And I grabbed a little bit of food coloring. And I said, in this bucket, or in this glass bowl here, this water is you. This is you. It's perfectly clean. It's perfect. There's no problems with this glass right now. The water is your spirit, who you are, your soul. And when the devil makes things attractive to you, you tend to look and you take that foot forward. And then all of a sudden, a little bit of sin comes into your life. Because, the devil really wants to understand. And he really wants to make things appealing to you that you're not supposed to do. Like lie, cheat, steal. Not do your homework. Not being honest with your parents. See, the devil likes to do all that. And then all of a sudden, you have sin in your life. And now you're not perfect. You're not this white or clear glass of water. And then all of a sudden, the sin just spreads. It spreads. And then the water doesn't become clear anymore. It becomes yellow. And when sin spreads and it takes over your clear, perfect soul, and you become yellow like this, then the devil's truly taking over who you are. Now, family and friends, this can be anything. This could be drug addiction. This could be the Xbox, the PS4. This can be anything. The devil can use anything. It could be a set of Barbies. Your kid doesn't want to go home and do the correct things and become better in life. Or they won't practice the things that they need to achieve their goals. Because they have something that took a foothold in their life that was very appealing to them. The iPhone, the iPad. And all of a sudden they just got or so engulfed with that thing, it became a sin. They forgot about Jesus. They forgot about God. And then it just took over. And now you don't care. You don't care about how you walk. You just want to do what you have to do for yourself. And you become selfish. And you forget that you have to love God. You have to pray to God. You have to walk right Because whatever takes this away brings an angry moment in your life, a bitter moment in your life, a hardened heart. So I say to you, please teach your kids the correct way of living. Don't let something become an addiction to them. Don't let the devil make something so attractive that sin becomes a part of that attractiveness. It takes a foothold into their life. It not only takes a foothold, but that whole concept of them taking one step forward becomes 3 steps now. And then it becomes 4 steps. And next thing you know, they're so far away that they can't find themselves back to Christ. And that's what sin does. And then ultimately, what sin finishes off with a person is death. And the memory verse is Romans 3:23. For all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Parents, don't allow your kids to fall short. Brothers and sisters, adults, don't allow the children to fall short. Keep them moving forward. Keep them on their daily goal, their motivation. Remember, some of them want to be tinkers. Some of them want to be Lego professionals. Some of the children want to be teachers. They even want to be doctors. All can be used in the glory of God. Thank you, and hope to see you next weekend. Bye.